Hey there guys, and welcome to another Kings of Chaos tutorial. Really quick, if you don't know about the game, definitely check out my introduction video of it that I did about a month and a half ago or so, a few weeks ago. And also, if you want to join, there is a link in the description you can use that'll just bring you to the site and prompt you to sign up, and will kind of help group you together with me without having to find me in game and stuff. And yeah, so if you're interested, then check that out, both the link and the video. But this is going to be a tutorial. So what we're going to go over is like the best way I consider to start out your account when you first begin the game. There's a lot of people who have joined from these videos, which is awesome, but the majority of them seem to just make an account and then don't do anything, or play for like a day and then never log in again. So maybe you lose interest, or maybe I suspect maybe it's because you don't really know the best way to go about it. So that's what we're going to cover here. So when you make an account, now this is my account, which is not new. I started when the age started a few weeks or a month ago, and I built the account up. But when you do start, you're going to have probably no weapons. You may have like 25 shields, I think. I think you do get those. And then you're going to have some gold. Obviously not the gold I have. You're going to have some gold though. And your stats are all going to be really, really low. Now, what I personally like doing when you start is investing almost all of your gold into strike weapons, attack weapons, and then like a little bit into increasing your spy rating. And I'll explain why in a minute. Now, in regards to increasing your spy rating, when you first start, the amount of gold you get, I believe, is going to be too low to actually buy spy tools without spending most of your gold. Like I said, I'm not entirely sure on the gold because they changed it and then didn't say what they changed it to. If you do start with like a couple million, then you could go ahead and buy like a spy tool or two and some attack weapons. But if you start with like 50,000, I think is what it used to be, or something like that, I would just train like one or two of your soldiers. You're going to have untrained soldiers. I would train one or two of them to spies. And you do that just by going to training, and then you would just train a couple. And then spend the rest on attack tools. Pretty much just the best one you can get. And why do we do this? Because this is going to allow you to do two things. This is one, going to allow you to do conquests, which I'll show you in a second. And then two, it's going to allow you to attack people off the bat. Because without either of those things, you're not going to get very far. Because then the only source of income you're going to have is your passive income down here. Now mine is obviously very high because I have a lot of soldiers. Soldiers provide income. You get soldiers by recruiting, which I've done a tutorial video on, by the way. But you're not going to really have that to begin with. You do also get income from economy upgrades, but you need experience. And you get experience by, you guessed it, attacking and doing conquests. So conquests start out, and you're just pretty much going to have this one unlocked. And you need more than the strength that is displayed here. Usually it's like about 2.5 times the amount. So this thing says 100, which means you would need your attack rating to be about 200, 250 to actually succeed. And when I say 250, I mean just 250. Because that's, that one's really low. That's the first one. Then the next one, once you do this 10 times, it should unlock the next one. And then you need 1,000. Well, the opponent's strength is 1,000. Again, you'll want to go higher than that to actually succeed. Now, you will get experience if you fail, but you will not get gold. And the gold isn't like great, but it will kind of help pay the repairs because these do damage you when you do the conquest. But you want to do these about 48 times a piece. 48 times for this one, so on and so forth. And the reason for this is they give, initially they give way more XP per attack turn, because it takes 10 turns to use them, to do one conquest, right? It takes 10 turns to do a conquest, and it takes 75 turns to attack. Attacking gives about 2.3 XP per attack turn you use. So 75 times 2.3. Initially, these give you 50 experience up until you do it 20 times, I believe. And it only takes 10 turns per. So you're essentially getting 5 XP per turn up until 20 times. But up until 48 times, it's still going to give more XP per turn than attacking will. After 48 times, it's going to give less. So you want to do these to get experience, and then you can either get economy upgrades or tech upgrades. And it's kind of your choice. I personally, and this is where it's going to vary, and this is very important to note. If you join now, or any time after like the first few days of an age starting or an era starting, you're going to probably want to go more towards tech upgrades. Now you can get a few economy upgrades is good, you know, one or a couple, okay? If you start like anytime after the first couple days of the age, right? And I'll explain why. However, if you start right when the age starts, like the same day or like, you know, hours after the same day or something, I personally think the economy upgrades are way more important. And again, here's why. So if you're starting right when the age starts, there's a few things. New players, which is going to be everybody because everyone's starting right when the era starts, have a kind of a protection put on them, which means that they can't be attacked for X amount of time after they register. I don't know what it is now. It used to be like 30 minutes or an hour. It may be an hour or a couple hours now. It's kind of to protect them so they don't just get farmed instantly, which means there's not really going to be anyone to attack, right? And even once that goes away, no one's really going to have any decent gold. So your only source of income is going to be from your passive income. Now, this is why recruiting is so important when the age starts, because that's going to get you more soldiers, we could do more passive income. But that's also why I think investing into economy upgrades fairly heavily at the start is important, because that adds to your passive income. However, if you join later into the age, like a week, even a couple days, or like now about a month into the age, the economy isn't going to be as important. Again, passive income is important, so you maybe want to get a couple of these. But there's going to be very good targets to attack at this point. In technology, each technology upgrade gives you 5% to each stat per technology upgrade, okay? So that's going to help you get higher stats. Now, here is, going back to the very beginning, you will have bought some attack and stuff, and a couple spies. Maybe a spy tool, depending on how much gold you start with. Now, initially, you're not going to be able to see most people's gold. However, if we go to the very last few pages, let's say page 68, now I can see these people's gold because my spy rating is really high. Basically, even with a couple spies, you should be able to see people's, like all these people, see how they have 0 spy and sentry rating. If you have a couple spies, your spy will be, like, it won't be great by any means, but it will be high enough to see. Because you need double the spy rating of someone's sentry to see their gold on the battlefield. So if someone has 10 sentry, you need 20 spy or more to see it without doing a reconnaissance mission. Even if you can't see their gold, if it's all question marks for you, you could still do a reconnaissance mission and see if they have gold. But like, you know, these guys have like 2,000 defense. I mean, that's a day ago. This is our script doing this, but again, you would want to do a reconnaissance mission first. But I mean, like this guy. So this guy has had 1.3 thousand defense. If we open this up, if my internet decides to work, and look, he has about 2,200, but he's holding 2.5 million gold. So if you can get your strike above this, you do want to make sure it's above, like by a fair bit. Probably, you want to make sure their defense is no more than like 80% of your attack. But you can find these targets, right? So that's what I would suggest. And from that point, I would just say increase your attack for a little while. You know, maybe spend like, I think you start with 5,000 turns, I believe, or 2,500 or something like that. You start with quite a lot. I would say maybe do 10 attacks or so and put almost all of that into strike, maybe a little bit more to spy, maybe pick up a spy tool or two. And then because then you can just keep hitting bigger targets and doing the higher conquests, so on and so forth. And then at that point, you can start investing into other stats, like your defense or your sentry, if you want. You could just go pure attack and spy, and that's what some people do, and that's referred to as basically a slayer. where that's all they do. They just pretty much go spy and strike, a little bit of sentry and defense just so they can safely hold the gold they steal for like a minute. But yeah, so pretty much that's one option. And even me, who I have a very high passive income, I've actually gone very heavily on strike because I can still get some decent attacks in. So that's definitely a viable strategy. You know, it's kind of up to you, and it also depends on what race you pick. If you think you want to go that route, you probably want to pick like orcs because, you know, they get the strike bonus. If you want to go more passive income, you'd probably want to go humans or dwarves because humans get the income bonus, dwarves get the defense bonus. Of course, if you want to go more passive income, you will need to make sure you recruit and get some economy upgrades. Otherwise, it'll be kind of pointless. But there you go, guys. So that's kind of my little brief tutorial. I mean, it wasn't so brief, but general overview tutorial of maybe how to start your account out because it can be confusing for some people, and if you mess up, it can really mess you up, you know, because you're limited on gold to begin with. So then if you can't make any good attacks, then you're just kind of stuck, right? Lastly, there are these upgrades. I've gotten all my siege technology upgrades, but it would be worth getting a couple as soon as you can for yourself right off the bat. I think the first one is 40,000 gold. It's quite cheap, so like after your first attack, I would get that one and probably the one after it. It doubles each time, so like 40,000, 80,000. I mean, you saw that if you can get steal 2 million gold, I mean, you can easily get those. And then, yeah, so that's pretty much it, guys. If you're interested in joining, again, check out the intro video I did because that'll explain the game as a whole. Check out the other tutorials I've done that cover a lot of other topics as well. They'll just help you, you know, play your account a bit better if you don't know how to play the game. And if you want to join, check out the link in the description, and I hope to see you in game. Anyway, guys, as always, thanks for watching. Take care, and I will see you next time.